Hey guys, I hope your weekend is getting off to a great start. On this Saturday morning for our daily word, I want to talk about we have to visualize the things that we're believing for in order to receive the things we're believing for. Let's look at Mark 11:23-24 NIV. And these are the words of Jesus speaking directly to us. Jesus tells us, "Truly I tell you." When Jesus starts off with truly, he's like, look, I'm not lying. I know this may sound too good to be true, but I'm telling you the truth. Pay attention. Let's get back to what he's saying. He said, "Truly I tell you, if anyone says to this mountain, go throw yourself into the sea, and does not doubt in their heart, but believe that what he says will happen, it will be done for them. Therefore, I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours." These two verses are our critical verses to receive the things that God has promised to us. Jesus is literally telling us directly, if we can just believe in our heart, having no doubt that when we say to our business, our calling, be successful, make X number of dollars a week, help these many people in my ministry, I want this kind of relationship in my marriage. When we say words of faith and we can believe those words, we can have whatever we say. But if we doubt those words, then we won't have what we say. It's literally that simple. Now, the reason people doubt is because it may take a while to see the manifestation of what we're saying. Since it's going to take a while, our stance of faith is that we have to say it and believe it, and we got to see it in our heart. We got to be able to visualize it. Let's look at Romans 4:17-21, King James Version. Paul says, "As is written, I've made thee a father of many nations, but for whom he believed, even God, who quickened the dead, and calleth those things which be not as though they were." This is a story about Abraham. Abraham was promised by God to be the father of many nations. But Abraham was getting older in age. His wife was older in age, and they have not had any kids together. And so from a natural standpoint, it's not possible for them to have a child. And because it was not possible for them to have a child, it was tempting to get out of faith for the thing that God promised. But Abraham had a realization that God is able to call things into existence that are not right now, but he calls them if they were in existence. So for example, here's what he did with Abraham. Abraham's original name was Abram, and he changed it to Abraham, which means father of many nations. So God started to call Abraham exactly what he was, the father of many nations, before he was the father of many nations. So every time somebody said Abraham's name, Abraham was able to visualize the thing that God had promised to him that allowed him to stay strong in faith. So what things in your life do you need to change? Do you need to start calling some things differently? Call your bank account full. Start to visualize that car that you want. Start to visualize the success in the business that you want. Start to visualize the people you're called to reach through your ministry. Whatever it is that God has placed in your heart to manifest in your life, call it into existence. Speak it, believe it, see it. Visualize it. Now, this is not new wave manifestation stuff, because the things that we are speaking, the things that we're believing for, these are things that God has placed in our hearts. We're not just making up something here, right? God has literally spoken to us. God spoke to me, 2014, CFE, Church for Entrepreneurs. You are a church for entrepreneurs. You're to reach millions of entrepreneurs across the world. We haven't reached millions yet, but I still speak it. I still believe it. I still visualize it, because this is the word that God promised for me to accomplish. So I have to visualize it. Regardless of what it looks like now, I have to visualize it. So what are you visualizing? What are you saying? Because God called things that be not as though they were. What are some things that you need to call into existence, even though they are not right now? Let's get verse 18. It goes on to say, Abraham, against hope, believed in hope. What this literally means is that in a natural, there was literally no hope for Abraham to have a child, but he believed past the natural. Let's keep going. That he might become the father of many nations, according to what was spoken, so shall thy seed be. He was visualizing past the point of his physical limitations to receive the promise that God had promised to him. Verse 19, and being not weak in faith, he considered not his own body now dead when he was about 100 years old, neither the deadness of Sarah's womb. He staggered not at the promises of God through unbelief, but was strong in faith, giving glory to God, and being fully persuaded what he had promised, he was able to also perform. So Abraham is not looking at at his natural circumstances. He is not allowing his natural circumstances to make him weak in faith. He's not looking at the fact that he's 100, Sarah's 90, because he has a promise for God, and he's not going to stumble. He's not going to stagger in unbelief, because once you start not believing something, what Jesus told us in Mark 11 was that if you don't believe, you don't receive. It's a catchy tune, but it's so true, right? So just like when Peter was walking on the water, he had faith. The moment he started to doubt, he started to sink. If you're doubting the promises that God spoke to your heart, you're not going to receive those promises. So what we have to do is stay strong in faith by speaking the outcome that we desire, visualizing the outcome that we desire. And these are the outcomes that God placed in our heart. And so just like Abraham, he was fully persuaded that the same God who promised him to be a father of many nations was able to make him a father of many nations. So the same God who spoke to your heart about that ministry, that business, that nonprofit organization, and about the success that he wants you to have for it, just like he spoke it to you, he's able to bring it to pass. Our job is to stay in faith. Our job is to speak those words. Our job is to visualize and see it in our heart, see it in our mind, and constantly stay in an air of expecting it to happen. So as we're wrapping up today's daily word, my desire for me and for us is to get back to this principle that we gotta speak it. We gotta see it. We gotta see it and speak it before it happens, and stay strong in faith that the same God that promised to do it for us, he is able to bring our desires to pass. Hey guys, that concludes today's daily word. Pray it was a blessing to you. If you want to partner with Church for Entrepreneurs, go to churchforentrepreneurs.com/partner. If you'd like to connect with us more, join our online community at churchforentrepreneurs.com. You guys be blessed, and I'll talk to you later.